Hello guys, welcome to my first video on this channel. Today guys, I'm going to be teaching you how you can create an overhead name display for your for a specific individual group members or everybody in the game. The timestamps are on screen right now, so you can just head on over to that part of the video for the different type of like GUIs, for example, group owners, just specific individuals, or everybody in the game. And so the first thing you want to do is make sure you have the Explore and the Properties tabs open. You can head over to the View tab and click on both of them. Now head over to the model and click on a part. Now this will summon a part, and what you want to do is click on the part, click on the little plus sign, and type in Billboard GUI. Now we're gonna be greeted with the Billboard GUI right over here. What we want to do is we want to name this overhead. So we can head over to the Properties tab and we can name this overhead for efficiency use. And now what we want to do is click on overhead and enter in a text label. We're going to name this one just label in general. So we can head over to the name, type in label, and from here you can see a little white kind of line box thing appears, and we can see this from basically kind of everywhere where nothing interferes. And what I want to do to fix the issue in which it is inside of the properties, we can head over to the overhead right over here, the option that says always on top, which means it is on top of the kind of like parts instead of inside, and so we can always see it even if we're underground or somewhere which blocks contact. And from here, what I want to do is head over to the overhead thing right over here that we've created earlier in the video, and we want to head over to a thing that is called studs offset down, and we can click on this drop down arrow and we will be greeted with 3 axes. And what we want to go to the y-axis, and we will change the value to 3, which makes it 3 studs above the part, or later in the video it will turn into somebody's head. And now what I'm going to do is go back to the overhead over here, and we want to change the size offset. So we can click on the size drop down and click on the X and Y axis drop down arrows, and we want to change the offset to 0 for both. It will kind of create like a little tiny ball which we really can't see. And for the X, we want to put this to 4, and for the scale, well, for the X and for the Y scale, we're going to put it to 1.5 maybe. And now it kind of creates a rectangle around, and you can see the label is kind of like not in the middle, and it's kind of weird to see. So what we do to fix this, and we head over to the label, to the text label, and we go to the size for this one as well. It's already opened for me, and we want to change this to 0 again. And what we're going to do is change the for the scale for both of them to 1. Now this will make it in the middle. And so a couple things that people like to do is we like to put a UI corner tool inside of the text label. It's a pretty nifty tool. I'm pretty sure it's new. I haven't really used it a lot, but I know it's really cool. It kind of roundifies the UI, and so we can make this to 13 to make it rounded a little more. And we can head over back to the label. We can make the background color to blue, a bluish color. That's kind of too blue. This looks fine. Yeah, we can go down to the text. We can make the text color white, and we can choose the option text scale. I don't like this font, so we'll just change it to cartoon, and there we go. That's a lot better. And so once all of this is customized, we can drag the overhead into server storage. We can delete the part. And so now we want to make a script inside of server script service. But one thing that we have to do before we start going on with the script is you want to change the max distance. So this will basically change the kind of like distance in which we can see the UI. And so now on with the script, we can start off with making two variables. One can be local server storage. We can make that equal to game get service, and then we can make it server storage. We can make another variable called local overhead equals server storage, then wait for child, and then overhead. Now basically what this does is it makes sure that like in case like the script hasn't loaded inside of the game properly, it'll wait for the script to completely load in a good manner. So now we can drop down and we can type in game.players. No, so game.players.player added colon connect. We can make a function, delete the parentheses, and make it player. The script, or I will make a model for this down into the description of the video in case you don't want to type in all of this. And so from here, after we've done that, we can, so right now this will make it so that this will happen for one person. So like in case you want to make it the name or the label as owner, it will only go to a specific individual's head or character's head, and only his, and with the name or with the label's text as owner. So what we want to do for this one right over here is we want to type in if, oh, but we forgot to do something just right before we hop onto that. After we've done that, we want to make sure that it waits for the characters loads in. So player dot character added, and then from here what we want to do is do a colon and a connect, and we want to make a function just as before. We delete the parentheses and type this in as character instead of player, because you can see right over here it's not the same. So let's make sure we spell this right. So character. And so now we can move on to the second step of the scripting area. So this is going to be for a specific individual's head, and so what we're going to type in is if player dot name equals, and then my name is Roblox, which means the label will only become visible for me. Then we want to create a then. Click on enter, and well, this should pop up. A new end text should appear. And so what we want to do right now is create a local thing. So local UI clone. We're gonna clone the UI that we've made earlier in the video, and we're gonna make it equal to the overhead. And now we're gonna clone that. There we go. And now from here we wanna parent the, so here let me just so what we want to do here is I'm just gonna make sure to label all of this. So the UI so that you guys understand everything if you haven't like really watched the video. And now from here, now basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna parent it. And so you can drop down again. And what we want to type in is UI clone, and then we're gonna parent it. So UI clone dot parent equals character dot head, just like so. And one thing we have to do before we play though is create an end so that it works properly. So we're just gonna make it nice and neat. There we go. Now we can play again. And now there we go. We have the owner kind of UI on top. And before you can see that it was label, and now because of this text right over here, we've made it into owner. And so that is how to make it for a specific individual's head. And so for now what we want to do is, if we want to make it for like a group or like everyone in a group, well then what we want to do is, so right over here we can just kind of like, I'm gonna remove this and make it a group. So what we want to do for this one is instead of if player.name dot blah 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 blah, we wanna just delete kind of this text starting from here, and after if player we wanna put in colon and if in group, or sorry, is in group, and then right over here we can put the ID of the group. So the ID should look like a little something like this with a bunch of numbers. Like right over here, it should be on top of URL. It should be there, and then that's basically what you want to do. Or instead of owner, you want to put member. So that kind of makes it over. Now I'm not in a group right now, so I can't really test this out for you. But now, if you want it to make it so that it's everybody's names that is affected, and so what we want to do, if you wanted to make it for everybody's name, we can basically just delete this and delete that, and that basically kind of makes it like, because we don't have any like little variables to like make it to a specific individuals. We're only putting down the code, and it doesn't really specify who has it. So right now we can see we have the UI, and it is called member, and I'm gonna keep it this way. I'm gonna make the game and leave it as uncopy locked if you guys want to play. And so yeah, if this was proven helpful, or if this has worked for you, then I would really appreciate it if you guys kind of like put like comment down in the description of the video like, hey, this worked, thank you very much. I will like your comments, and I will maybe even pin your comments. So as I said, a subscribe, a like, and a comment would be really appreciated from you. And yeah, I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.